things have got to change. Oh, somehow I know it's got to be rearranged. Saw a bird flew down this morning as if he's saying something to me.
Hi, whoops. Oh, welcome to SayRegLife.me on reggae2reggae.com. And today, oh my goodness, today we are doing how to achieve spiritual health all this week. And Monday, we spoke about the spiritual base for having spiritual health. On Tuesday, we looked at know your destination, know where you're going, have your goals organized, and have your objectives and know what you're working toward. And remember, yesterday, we looked at some really exciting things that we are working towards actually experiencing. And I told you about that whoops, when you are adopted, you are chosen. It's not a matter of taking what you get. You know, when you get pregnant, you don't even know if it's a girl or a boy. You don't know if they're going to be tall or short. You have to take what you get. But when you're adopted, you are chosen specifically because of how you look, how you everything. But a choice is made so that you can meet the objective. And the same thing happens when the Creator made you. He made you to be the solution for an issue, for a problem. And so He knows exactly how to make you up so that you fulfill exactly what needs to be fulfilled. And so when you're adopted, you are so special. We also looked at the fact that you are, guess what, brother to His only begotten Son. And so, you know, this is your big brother. And you can just follow in His footsteps. You can learn from Him. And guess what? Anytime you do something wrong, you can hide behind Him. Hide in the shadow. Are you gone clear? So guess what? When the Creator looks on you as the judge, He doesn't see you at all because you are hiding in the shadow of His Son. And when He looks on His Son, He sees perfection. So you're gone clear. So that is how you get out when you're having your problems and you fall on and bump your toe. That is how you get around it. So we looked at all of those yesterday, and I want to review the 4 rules of celebrating life. Remember, yesterday we did know where you're going. That was rule number 1. Rule number 2 is know your driver. Who's driving this bus? Who's taking you on this journey? You need to know your driver. Rule number 3 is pay as you enter. You've got to make your contribution to this whole ride. If you don't, you cannot reap the rewards at the end. And then rule number 4 is enjoy the ride. And that's what Celebrate Life is all about. Hey, you like my talk? I have to show you. I have to get better at this talk. It really is exciting. It's one of my found designs. It's not one of my made designs, one of my found designs. And it's scored all over the place on the street side. I usually get the best designs on Bendo Plaza, down by Coronation Market. The best designs at the best prices. So this one I got on the street side, not down there, but at another street side. And when I took it up, I said, wow, this is hot. Ha ha, ha ha, ha ha. It has some restrictions. You know, You can't lift your hand too high. But it looked nice. And guess what? It's supposed to be a dress. Oh, maybe here. This is a dress for a midget. So anytime you go into the store and you see that dress for a midget, I beg you, put on a pants underneath it. Because we spoke about the fact that you need to cover your assets and not expose them. It's better to cover them and then think it nice than to expose it. I bet them will say, it's not as hot. So sometimes I see some ladies on the road with holy cellulite and all sorts of things, and they have on a dress for a midget. No, 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 not acceptable at all. But getting back to that a little later, we are talking now on rule number 2 today, which is know your driver. Why do you need to know your driver? Because that is the person who is going to take you from point A to point B. Am I on the right one? Monday we did the Lord's Day program, right? Tuesday we did the Monday program, which was Know Where You're Going. So now it's Wednesday and we are doing the Tuesday program, which is Know Your Driver. So it is so important to know your driver, because that is what is going to determine where the power comes from to access what we need to access. Now, how do you assess where the power is coming from? By the outcome or the intended outcome. So I want to just share with you. Oh my goodness. I would like my production assistant inside to pass me my little book that I've made my notes in. That's okay. It's right there, that black book right there. Right there, right there, right there. Please, it doesn't matter whether they see your beautiful face or not. Come on, what's that? Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dawn. You are so sweet. You see how she puts you, see? Well endowed too. All right. How you know that you know who is the driver? Because sometimes, things come into your mind and you wonder, is that me? Is it my creator telling me something to do? Or is it the other part, the other one? Well, let me tell you how you know which one is talking to you. This is how you know, by the intended end. It says, anytime you find that the end result of what you are going to get into is to kill something, to steal something, or to destroy something, you know that is not the person that you must follow. That's not the right driver. You got to know your driver, because guess what your driver comes to do? To give you abundance, plenty of health, plenty of wealth, plenty of peace, plenty of love, and plenty of joy, regardless of what is happening around you. And so, you need to know your driver. Because when you know your driver, you also know the characteristics that your driver is going to exude and demonstrate, etc. So let me look at the basis for that. The thief comes to kill, steal, and destroy. You ever see a thief come to give you something? No! The thief always comes to take away. And that is the thing about the thief. And I'm going to tell you what he comes to do. He comes to the enemy of anything, comes to kill your passion, comes to steal your health, your wealth, your peace, your love, and your joy, and to destroy your life. So anything that is going to diminish or take away from comes from the other side, not out of this book. Anytime you read and follow the instructions in the instruction manual, it comes to give you life, abundance, celebration, more health, more wealth, more peace, more love, and more joy. And guess what? When I was 5, I decided that's what I wanted. I went to this Billy Graham crusade. First time he came to Jamaica, 1955. Most of you out there were not born yet. And I went and I sat down and heard a man giving a testimony, a old white man with a grey beard. And he flew into Jamaica in his Learjet. And he says, my dear, I'm so blessed by the Lord that I can give 9% of what I earn away. And I can fly around the world in my Learjet to tell of the goodness of God. I said, 10% carry him around the world in his Learjet. His name was Laterne, I remember. And my dear, when I look and I say, oh my goodness, this man is rich, can't done. The world wealthy knows that. If he can fly around the world with Billy Graham to give testimony of God's goodness in his Learjet on 10% of his income, that means he's making a whole heap of money back then in 1955. So I had a little parley with my creator. I said, God, it's true. And God said, it is true. I said, God, your color prejudice. And God said, oh, Sherry, you know I'm not color prejudice. I love black and white, pink and yellow, black and white. Oh, the precious in his sight. Jesus loves the children, little children of the world. You know that song? It's true. You know what he said to me? I don't care what color you are. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. So I said, well, if you're not color prejudice, you think you can do for this little black girl? I was 6. What you do for that old white man? He was about 60, or so it seemed to me. And he said, of course. And the rest, I will tell you at another time, because he did it. And he did it before I got to 60. When I was about 54, I just checked my assets after I had been obedient for the last 48 years. Not continuously, on and off. But God understand your process, understand your journey. And I'm not going to lick you down for when you fall down. All He's going to do is to pick you up when you fall down. And at 54, me and my husband decided to go on a world tour to talk about all our therapies around the Caribbean and elsewhere in the world where there were Caribbean people. And 10% of our income. And that covered our airfare, our hotel, our food, our rent-a-car, and the other 90%, we give it away. Everywhere we stop, we just drop X $1,000 to start another ministry. So let me tell you something. Anytime you follow the instructions in this book, is a sure end once you know who your driver is. But guess what? It's time to take a break. And so I will.
On reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience. On reggae2reggae.com, We encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience. On reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience. On reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience.
Hi, I am back. And you know what? Now come on, said we don't want green drink. So, this tastes good. You know what it is? Boy, banana, pawpaw, coconut milk, and I freeze the banana and freeze the pawpaw. Coconut milk, avocado, moringa powder, and barley malts powder. Lord of mercy, not only does it taste good, but you see when I take it, I get a kick. Right? Well, it's better than any kind of drugs. The natural thing, man. I'm telling you, I have this for my breakfast. I'm on a juice feast. And my juice feast, or it's a liquid feast, really. In the morning, I have cereal. And the cereal I make myself. I make it with bran sticks, raisins, flax seeds, and coconut fiber, which is my own product. I have coarse coconut fiber, which I use in the cereal, and fine coconut fiber, which is dry, which I use as a scrub, as a flavoring, as a everything. But all of them together, and then I do coconut milk with it, and that is my cereal in the morning. Of course, you know what that means. That means I get all the fiber. That is from the bran sticks, the flaxseed, and the coconut. And then I get and the raisins, all the protein, that is from the flaxseed. I get all my essential oils, which is from the coconut and the flaxseed. So that is a powerhouse breakfast. So I get a full, powerful breakfast. That's my breakfast at 8 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, I have 8 ounces of carrot juice. And looking at my little igloo out there and bring one of the carrot juice so I can show them. Right. And then at 12 o'clock, I have my shake. Power shake, man, with all the green stuff in it. And at 2 o'clock, I have another carrot juice. And then at 4 o'clock, I have a green juice. And at 6 o'clock, I have a really nice soup. So here's my carrot juice waiting for at 2 o'clock. So that's 12 o'clock that I'm having now. You see that? That is a powerful, it's called a juice feast. And then that I will have a pumpkin soup or a callaloo soup or a moringa soup or... You see how I have energy? I would like this all the time. Non-stop. Everybody say, but you look like you're powered by the bunny. Right? No, it's not the bunny. It's the moringa. Because I have sometimes 5 moringa servings a day. Because you have to have 5 servings of green to get all the chlorophyll to keep your blood strong. And then you have to have 3 servings of yellows to keep the antioxidants going. And then you need 1 serving of red. Right? Because you have to have a balance. 1 serving of red, remember 15% must be red, 35% must be yellow, and 50% must be green. That is how you have a balanced meal. But that was the subject of 2 weeks ago when we did the whole week coming back into physical health. And so you need to just backtrack, go on reggae2reggae.com, click on Video Lane, scroll down, and you will see all the programs going back for almost a month. So it's all there. So you can do that whole week when I did physical health, the whole week when I did psychological health, and then you can have the two that have gone already for this week on spiritual health. So you have all the information there. This is what happens when you have a good archive, you know. Well, I have some wonderful friends out there. Remember, we're doing physical health and know your driver. Because we spoke about who is not the driver. And so I want to talk about who is the driver. And how you know who the driver is. Remember what I said before, you know. Anybody who comes to kill, steal, or destroy anything, if they are taking you in a downward motion, then they are part of the enemy of your spirit. They want to damage your spirit so that you cannot embrace the abundance that has been given to you freely by your Creator. So let me just do that basis again. Remember, everything has to come out of this operations manual, the book that was written so that we could always have something to refer to and find everything that we want. Everything. So here we have the word for spiritual health. It says, knowing your driver, knowing who is running the operation, directing the journey. It says, the thief comes to kill, steal, and destroy. But I have come to give you life, and life more abundantly. So, anything that is robbing you of your health comes from the thief, sickness, and bad food. Anything that is trying to kill or steal your wealth comes from the same enemy. Because it is the Lord thy God that gives you health so that you can acquire wealth, so that you can expand the kingdom of God. So that covers the health, the wealth. And what is the kingdom of God on earth? But peace, love, and joy in the spirit realm. And that is what you need to concentrate on retaining in order to be in spiritual health. The peace, the love, and the joy. Because once you retain those, nobody can move you. Not left, not right, not center. They just stand up. Because you know who your driver is. You know what your destination was. Because we looked at that yesterday. But you have to know the driver. Oh, when you know the driver, you don't spend time with them. The only time you know anybody is when you spend time with them. And so I want to encourage you to spend as much time. Remember, we were looking at the formulation of how you get the time organized. The first part of your time for every day must be spent with your Creator so that they can just deal with what happened yesterday and say, all right, well, make this adjustment, all right, move on. Secondly, give you direction for how you must move today. And thirdly, undergird you with the ability and the resources that you need to carry through the plan that your Creator made for you. The thing about patching into His plan is this, when you patch into His plan, you know what happens? He provides direction, and He also provides the resources. So when He provides those resources for you, you're gone clear. You don't have to be struggling to say, we're not going to get this wrong. How am I going to do this? What? You just rest. And that is how you can enjoy the peace, the love, and the joy. You know what? I just remember something. You remember on Sunday, it was our Saturday. when I was doing that show and gesticulating, I want to remind you of something. Watch here. You notice anything? No flaps. The flaps are gone. Well, my dear, after I went home and watched that show, I said, oh my goodness, I did that. Well, I decided, I said, 3 days ago, I get rid of those flaps. Remember, weights are, so I got all the weights. You know what these are? 2 soda bottles. And I filled them with stones, small pebbles, and water. So I guess it probably about 7 pounds each, approximately. I don't recommend this for a start. Start with 3 arm, then you move up to 2.5, to 3, and then to 5. But because I've been lifting weights for so many years, those sort of feel too light for me. So what you do now is that you get in this position. This is for the flaps. You know, the one that hang down and swing around here. You can stop, swing around, watch definition. Right. This is how I got it. So you sit like this and you keep the elbows high, right? And then you straighten them out. Can't do both of them or else and knock over the set. So let me just work with one, right? You straighten it out like that and you hinge back. Don't do this, right? You straighten out and in. With or without the weight, but keep the elbow in one position and just bring that in. I did 100 of them, morning, noon, and night. And after 3 days, no more flaps. So there's a way to get anything you want. The first time I decided I wore a long hair, the hair wouldn't grow at all. So you know what they do? We piecing it. They call it braids, extensions, da-da-da-da. But a piece, we piece it. Catch on a piece. They can glue on or they can. But guess what? I achieved my end. I have long hair. But then after that, I decided to graduate to wigs. And then, here it is now. Today I have on a short wig. Tomorrow I had on a long wig. So, it was sort of confusing to a lot of people who wondered. Because my wig then never looked like wig. And after a while I said, well, today she have short hair. How will you pin up your hair so? I said, it's a wig. After a while I said, you know something? I never liked the wig so much again. Because it was hot. And also, I was getting into this natural me, real me thing. And the wig never really cut it, nor did the extensions. And then I said, there must be a way. And then I heard, I used to watch the Rastas and say, why would the people with the picky head get such long hair? And then I realized that there is no picky hair. All hair is beautiful. Have you ever felt anything softer and more wonderful to just lie on than a wonderful curl hair? It's because the curl in our hair is so tight that it can't straighten out. But if you straighten it out, it becomes as long as anybody else here, but then it's Chinese or Indian. Then I sit down and look at it and say, but so that's why people start to straighten the hair. But then it still wasn't working right because the chemical and the different processing was mashing up your hair, man. So I sat down and said, there must be a way. Because when I analyzed, I found out that the reason that there was a break, that reason why the hair did not grow in more African types of hair was that because of the tight curl structure, it kept breaking, and so you had to be very careful with it. So I said the best way to be careful with it is not to comb it. So that is how the Rastas learned here. And then I found out about Sister Love. And so I learned to do that thing, and then I developed my own system. And then the years start to grow until one day I got so, and I had problems. It kept falling into the toilet. And that is how I decided that I would keep it just above the place where it drops in the toilet. Voila! There is a way out in our room, but it's time for a break, and so I'll be back in a little teeny wee bit to tell you some more about how to achieve spiritual health on reggae2reggae.com. See you in a while.
Since the first public demonstration of radio by Nikola Tesla in 1893, no one ever thought of putting the 2 hours of music together until we created reggae2reggae.com.
To get your natural defenses up so that your bodies will deal with your condition. Join us as our studio audience on reggae2reggae.com when we will teach you how to celebrate every moment of your life. Call us at 336-7350 for information. Limited space.
I'm on again, and we are going to be continuing our session today on achieving spiritual health. And remember, we told you how you know that is the wrong driver. If it's coming to kill, steal, or destroy. Remember, the enemy comes to kill your passion. Your passion about anything. So anything you're excited about, he wants to throw cold water on it. Don't allow him. He wants to steal your health, steal your wealth, steal your peace, steal your love, and steal your joy. Don't allow him. He wants to destroy your life. And we all have family members. We all have personal experience with those who have had their lives just sort of sucked out of them by the enemy. I don't care where you are along that spectrum, you can reverse this downward slide. But you can only do it for yourselves. And then be an example to others of how they can do the same for themselves. How do you do this? By embracing the gifts that your Creator has given you in the light of the work of the enemy, the thief. He says, I have come to give you life, and life more abundantly. And you can embrace that. Remember, you just have to ask. We have not because we ask not. We need to understand that the process of asking is threefold. A-S-K. Ask. Verbalize it. Speak it into being. Seek. Research it. Go after it. Do not let go until you have had a breakthrough. Knock. If you have to knock it down, don't stop until the door opens. And listen to me. I do all three of them one time. As soon as something comes into my mind, I start ask, seek, and knock immediately. And I put a little overrider. I said, Father God, anyhow, what is true, that door is not for me. I beg you, not open it. And if it is not the time for me to accommodate this, don't do it. I want you to do what you want. If I line up with what you want, give me. But if I don't line up, or if my desires are different from your desires, I beg you, please don't give me. But I'm still knocking. You understand? So don't be afraid that, oh my goodness, I might get something that I don't need. If you really have a desire to follow in that perfect plan that has been set for you, remember we spoke about that? A plan that is not to hurt you or to harm you, but a plan to give you an expected end, a hope, and a future, a success and prosperity. Remember, we covered that when we were looking on Sunday, or was it either Shabbat show, or it was the Lord's Day show, when we looked at the fact that this book, how we get it, see the book here? Don't stop talking it. This book of the law shall not be part of your mouth, but you shall meditate in it day and night. Then, why? To observe it, to do, put into practice all that is written therein. Then shall you make your way prosperous. Then you will have good success. So, we have all the answers. We have all the methodologies. We have all the processes. We have the expected end. Then we have the resources. And we have the driver to carry us there. So why on earth are you groping in the dark? Why are you walking 5,000 miles by yourself when you can just hop on the and get a ride? It's not a free ride, you know. Tomorrow we'll talk about pay as you enter, the fact that you have your contribution to make. But whatever contribution you need to make has been given to you. So nobody can say, I do have no money, I don't have any fear. Do you know what contribution that you have been given is? Start with time is not time for a break. It is time to understand that your contribution is your time. And so everybody has the same to contribute because it has to do with how you spend your time. And that is going to be the subject of another show when we do a program called The Lord of Your Time. How can you spend your time so that you have time for your Creator, time for yourself, in that order, then time for your spouse, then time for your children, then time for your career, calling, etc. After your family. Then time for your spiritual family. Then time for your community. And people who live around you, those people who don't even know their neighbor, dog eat your supper. Community. And after that, time for your nation. And time for world interests and events. It has to stay in that order, but that was the subject what I showed up with it last week. So go and look it up and see it all that. So I need to concentrate on the spiritual thing because I want you to understand the linkages between these. You can't look at one without linking it to the other because they are all linked. I am a spirit. I live in this body. And I have a soul where all my emotional things go on and all my relationships go on. So what I have to do is get the spirit back into place so that it can direct the emotions and the relationships. And it can also control the body because the spirit is the thing. It is the controlling factor. It is what determines everything that happens. So you have to get back into spiritual health. Because as I tell my clients when they come in, they come in for gout, cancer, all sorts of different things. And when I say to them, what are your stress levels? What does that have to do with gout? Everything. Because everything starts in the spiritual realm, which is who you are and where your decisions are made. Alright? So get that straight. So, I am going to now look at some other characteristics of the driver, because you have to know the driver. If you don't know the driver, I told you, of the not driver, the thief and the enemy. I told you those characteristics. Anything that is killing, stealing, or destroying any part of your life comes from the enemy. Nothing, God only knows about the sickness. He will allow it because sickness is a curse from the enemy, but allowed and turned into a gift by your Creator. Because whatever the enemy meant for evil, the Lord is going to turn it around for good. And so that is how He uses sickness. I would not be on this program doing all this research. I would not have done all of these degrees and what have you if my husband was not struck with cancer some 20 years ago. Terminal cancer. Give me 6 months to live. He lived almost 20 years after that. And married a wonderful lady here. And we had a beautiful marriage. I'm writing a book about it. So it's going to be published in 2016, and at that time you will get all the lowdown of how you can make your marriage a celebration every day. Back to this spiritual thing now. Knowing your driver has to do knowing the capabilities of your driver. First of all, remember, your driver is not out there. Your driver is inside you. Because it's the same spirit that was breathed into you and you became a living soul. It is the same image that you were made into, but your image is in an embryo, you want to call it like that, and you have to talk about grow and develop into it as you spend time with the Creator. Because if you don't spend time, you won't get to know His ways. If you don't read His manual, you won't know the instructions that He has for you. And so you have to spend time with Him to grow to be like Him. You know, like there was the two people who live together. When you look at their wedding pictures, they look like two different people. 40 years later, when you look at them, they look like brother and sister. That's right. That's how it happens. The more time you spend with your Creator, the more you look like them. It's like in my family. Sometimes when my sister answers the phone, Laura Mo, I never know whether her daughter or our mother. And still, there are people who call our house and I answer the phone and they just chat to me like it's her. I said, excuse me, this is not Mrs. B. And they said, yes, I know it's not Mrs. B. Anyway, I think that is a joke. I said, this is not Mrs. B. This is Cheryl Chung. I am Mrs. B's sister. Okay. Then they get it. I said, she's not here, she's gone to X. So why? Because we live together. We hear the same things. And we come to sound alike. And so this is why it is important for us to always make sure that we spend a lot of time with our Creator. And it must be the first thing. But it's 5 minutes or 2 hours. It's not here, not there. Just go there first to get instructions, to get directions. And then you will have a foundation, a base to start at. So we're going to our final break. And when I come back, I'm going to just power you up with all the characteristics of your driver which you need to know. So this is our final break. And then guys, make it short for me, please. I have plenty of things to do.
Sitting on the limb of a tree, giving me a sound of sweet melody. I guess he's trying to tell me something that I should know about this new wind, a new wind that's gonna blow. It's raining
on again. And I have so much more stuff to share. I'm not sure which one to start with. But welcome back to CelebrateLife.me on reggae2reggae.com. I really have enjoyed my show so far because it has reminded me of a lot of things that sometimes I have forgotten and that I have to keep practicing it. I cannot go and run out my mouth on the show and don't practice what I am teaching. So, as I speak to you, I speak to me. Now, the characteristics of your and capabilities of your drive, right? First of all, he gives direction. He gives instruction. He constrains and he corrects and he pulls you back. And he inspires and he stirs and stimulates you to move forward. He gives life, abundant health, wealth, peace, love, and joy in every situation. That if he's given you and the source is inside of you, you don't have to look outside of yourself for anything. Everything is right inside of you. Isn't that wonderful? And he brings you to an unexpected end, which is in Jeremiah 29:11. It says, I have a plan for your life, and my plan is not to harm you or to hurt you, but to give you a hope and a future, and bring you to an expected end of prosperity and success. Boy, who would want to go into any other plan but his, after all? When you're sure where you're ending up, that is where you must go. So, don't let me have to go in my office and Anglo accent to get this over. But a lot of people say I speak too much patois on the show. So, this is so important that I need to say it in this voice. Again, the capabilities of my driver are these. 1, he gives direction. He leads me into all truth. 2, he gives instruction. He says, lean not to your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. That means you seek him first. You want a job? Seek him. You want healing? Seek him. You want a man? Seek him. You want a woman? Seek him. You want a child? You want to have a baby? What do you need? Seek him, and I'm here to tell you the answers to all of those questions are here in the book. I know that's why I don't understand why people throw their hands up when they have an answer right here. And if you don't have one of these books, call me. I get one for you. Right? Because I am here to tell you everything is there. Instruction. Then he constrains and corrects and pulls you back. Anytime he sees you going over the edge to do something stupid, where you open yourself up for the thief. You know, sometimes people attract thief. Yes, they put on all the big jewelry and walk downtown. Right? I used to do that. I used to do that and say, am I jewelry? If anybody want to come, thief, any from me, let them try it. That's what I used to do. Until one day, I was walking downtown with my sis. I go around one side of the car, she go around the other side of the car. When I look across, I see a man with a knife at her neck. And I tell you, I rushed the man, you see. And my sister said, no, Cheryl, no, don't come. Right? But after that, I realized you have to use wisdom. You know? So you don't leave yourself open. There are people who say, well, Mary, I'm not going to lock up this. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. Right? But guess what? You need to understand that when you get those checks in the spirit, you ever go in to your bed and you get up in the middle of the night and say, let me go check the front door. You get those checks, do them. Because that is the spirit constraining you, pulling you back, correcting you, and preventing you from getting into the space where you are exposed to the thief. Right. Okay. So he constrains and corrects. He inspires, stirs, and stimulates. Do you know what that means? He motivates you into action. He gives you a little push, right? He says, be anxious for nothing. Everything, man. You just pray about it. You just ask me about it. And you just thank me for the answer. And then guess what he's going to give you? He's going to give you peace. Because when he gives you peace, everything copacetic. You know what the word shalom means? Everything in perfect, upright order. Nothing missing and nothing broken. So when you get to that place, it doesn't matter whether all hell pop loose outside. You're cool. So remember, that's one of the capabilities of your driver. But you have to employ him. You can't go there and say, I'm not employ you. But we want you to drive a vehicle. What kind of thing that? I don't want to get into your vehicle. But I want you to drive my vehicle. That don't make no sense. That reminds me of an article I saw yesterday. It said, Jamaica motto, RAAS. And I said, well, after I finished reading the article, I said to myself, it's true, you know. But we have to start to use our madness to help us. Because the only people who can really change things around now is mad people. People who don't care what anybody else says. And going to do exactly what they are motivated to do. This is why you have to have the right driver. Because if you follow this driver, everybody going to say you're mad. But guess what? The driver knows where I'm going. And his methodologies are not exactly the same. They are different, outside of the box. More on that tomorrow when we look P as it ends, all right? But remember, he stirs, he inspires, and he stimulates. And then he gives life. He gives abundant life, abundant health, abundant wealth, abundant peace, abundant love, and abundant joy. And who could really refuse or resist those gifts? I know, I can't. Once I get a taste of it, not going back there, not going back to the other place at all. Sit down tight. So that is why I have to spend as much time as possible with him, closeted with him, and just listen to him and just talking to him and exchanging ideas and just, or else into this book, man, getting all the details, and or else I put on a word and just listen to it and listen to it and listen to it. So I know everything that go into your ear gate over and over and over is going to come out of your mouth. So you ever hear people say, "Me dear, oh," they bust a bad word and then say, "Oh, well, they use the expletive," and then they say, "Oh my goodness, this is the first time I've ever said anything like that. Oh, I'm so ashamed." You know what I'm saying? Because it's been going inside of here over and over and over, and they have been thinking it over and over and over. I know I am speaking from personal experience because I won't use my words at all. Because I was told it's not ladylike. And if you are a Christian, you must do that. But I was around, I used to work in a certain factory. It wasn't my factory. And them used to use them bad words, left, right, and center. And I used to say to the boss, "Look here, I cannot work here and listen to all these bad words." And then after a time, I started to use them in the head. I never said it, right? And so when somebody did something, I would just say, "How would I just take bad word, bad word, bad word?" But I'm not, I am just sort of put a beatific face on it, I wouldn't say it. One day, the guys them riled me up in the factory. We had a big problem, at 75 workers, huge furniture factory. And I was the managing manager and the production manager for a while. Well, my dear, They got me so angry. Or so I thought. Because nobody else can make you angry, you know. And you make yourself angry. Okay? So, I bust a bad word and I nearly failed. Because the whole factory just went silent. And I realized they could not believe that I did that. Listen to me. I said, this is the end of this meeting. And I wheeled off and go back into the office. Listen to me. Pop the bag, go home and say, Lord have mercy. Look at how on earth did I get there? Well, anybody can get there. You got to guard your ears, guard your nose, your mouth, your eyes. And that was when I decided, this is a long time ago now, I decided I will not expose myself to anything that I don't want to come out of me. I will not even allow it to come in. Because once you get it in, you have the problem of getting rid of it. So remember, when the word said, guard your eyes, guard your senses, your eyes, your ears, all your senses. Just don't expose yourself to those things because you are prone. All you people who take a break and watch all them soap opera. In 2 tools, you are into all those extramarital affairs and what have you. So understand what this book said. When he constrains you, he has a reason for doing so. So remember, after he's given you this abundant life, then he's going to give you the fruits and the gifts. You know what the fruits of having that spirit in you are? They are love, joy, peace, patience, long suffering, gentleness, kindness, meekness. Oh, they just float around. And you're good to everybody, and you're kind, and you're nice, and you're feeling good. And it's a win-win situation. Right? You know how to deal with everything. And then in addition to that, you get the gifts. You know what the gifts are? Wow! The gifts now are your abilities that are not really your abilities, are given to you. Those are the abilities of the Spirit that has been breathed into you, that you have become so accustomed to interacting with, that you start to do the things that they do. Remember, you know, when you get to that place, you sort of give up your own capabilities, and you start to mount up on wings like eagles, and you start to now develop and express those giftings that are given to you by that Spirit who you have been spending all this time with. That is how you achieve spiritual health. And that is what is going to inform your psychological practices, your emotions, and your relationships. That is what is going to decide on your physical health as well. So, we are right at the end of the program. But remember, tomorrow we are going to do Pay As You Enter. And I just want you to understand that this is leading you to the expected end. Once you get spiritual, understand who your driver is and all that he has to give you here, then you will end up at the expected end. And while you're there, you'll enjoy the journey. So enjoy the rest of your day. See you tomorrow, 12 to 1. And I'm going to tell you what's coming right after me, because it is our NFL program. You know, we have this guy called Neil Haley. He's from Video Tutor in the US. And every day after my program, he speaks to one of the NFL celebrities, right? In an interview. So you can get into their heads and find out what made them such a great player or a great administrator, as the case may be. But today he's going to talk to Harvey Catchings. He is a former NBA star for the Philadelphia 76ers. Earls, 76 years, I don't know. But that is one of the teams. And that was from 1974 to 1985. So he's going to give you all of the tips, and you're going to get into his head and find out how you can be a wonderful, successful person like Harvey Catchings, this NBA star. So stick around. After my theme is gone, he'll be right up. See you tomorrow, 12 noon sharp, from Celebrate Live on Reggae to Reggae.
Coming down on my people, taking the goodness of life and rendering them evil. You see, the little that they gave you was just to deceive you. Don't tell me that you were blind. Don't let the devil fool you. Oh, oh, yeah. Somehow I know things have got to change. It's got to be rearranged. Ooh, yeah. Somehow I know things have got to change. Ooh, somehow I know it's got to be rearranged. Ooh, yeah. These words have been spoken by my master. They will come to pass. With all this injustice, this world could never last.
Gave me a scholarship, and from there the rest is history. A tremendous amount of hard work, because the skill level, as you probably would recognize, was probably at a pretty rough level.
So basically, when you knew you didn't have a shot, I guess you had to say, well, you must have started liking basketball if you went through this process. You went and kind of did your own recruiting of teams and conversations with people like Coach Crum and John Wooden, and then also your local team, and it just seemed like you just didn't have the athleticism. So you went to junior college, and there is where you kind of started the process of becoming more athletic in basketball, right?
Exactly. And also, the other thing that was interesting about the whole thing that led up to that was that I didn't want my parents to have to pay for me to go to college. So I was looking for every opportunity that I could, to take advantage of it. Obviously, coming in raw like that, you never have those delusions of grandeur that, oh yeah, I'm gonna play in the NBA and